I've been talking for 10 minutes. No. So I apologize. I forgot to press one button to make it go live. Let's start now. Welcome to the study group 4, the Bhagavad Purana, also known as Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's jump right in. The book begins with the statement, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kind of a famous thing, you may have heard it before. These are the first 4 words in the Bhagavatam. Om actually has quite a bit of importance, even though it's such a simple word. It means this is a Vedic text. What we're going to discuss here is Vedic philosophy, spirituality. That's what Om means. It sets the context for the preceding statements. Proceeding? For the next statements, it sets the context for the next statements. It is a syllable pronounced before any Vedic statement. So the Bhagavatam begins with the word Om. Namo means respect. So just as we saw when we were just previously looking at the Briyat Samhita of Varahamihira, he began with Mangalacharana. He began by expressing gratitude and appreciation for someone or something that empowered him or enabled him to do what he's doing. Same way, the Bhagavad Purana begins by expressing gratitude and praise towards its subject. The subject of the Bhagavatam is what? Bhagavan. That's why it's called Bhagavad Purana, because it's really explaining what Bhagavan is. So don't worry right now if you have a question like, what does Bhagavan mean? Because the whole study of the Bhagavad Purana is required to really answer that question. And then Vasudevaya is how he's addressing Bhagavat. He is Vyas, probably, the author of this statement, is addressing Bhagavan by the name Vasudev. So again, if you don't know what the word Vasudev is, don't worry. The entire Bhagavatam is going to be about that. So now that I'm getting back into streaming, I better check out my stream settings and get them all right. Let's see if I can do that today. Anyway, what is Bhagavan Vasudeva? The very first statement in the Bhagavatam is addressed to explain this. And then the whole rest of the Bhagavatam will elaborate on that first statement. So the opening of the Bhagavatam is these 4 words, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. And then you're going to have the first big statement, which is going to explain what is Bhagavan Vasudeva. And then the whole rest of the 10,000s of statements in the Bhagavad Purana are going to be elaborating on explaining that first statement, illustrating it. Alrighty. So let's get into the first statement. Any questions so far, though? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Now, the first statement in the Bhagavatam, probably the most important statement. Janmadhyasya yaton vayaditaratas charteshva bigna surat tene brahmaridhaya adikavaye muhyanti yatsuryaha tejo varimridam yata vinimayo yatra trisargon mrisha Dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam satyam param dhimahi. That's the first statement of this wonderful Purana. So it starts off by saying Janmadhyasya Yata. What is Bhagavan? Bhagavan is Janmadhyasya Yata. This is also the first statement. The second statement, actually, right after the opening statement of Vedanta Sutra or the Brahma Sutra. So that indicates not only do we have the word Om indicating that this is a Vedic text, then we have Janmadhyasya beginning the work, meaning this is a text which will explain Vedanta. So the Bhagavatam is Vyasa's attempt to explain Vedanta, which was his attempt to explain the Upanishads. And I have low batteries, so that will probably limit how much time we can spend on this today. But so let's just try to get in this one particular phrase today. Janma means where things come from. Janma Adi. Adi means etc. So in other words, where things come from, what they rest on, and where they go to. So in other words, creation, sustenance, and destruction. That's indicated by the word Janmadi. Yasya, of this, yata, from that. So in other words, it's saying everything which is created and everything which exists and everything which gets destroyed is created, maintained, and destroyed by that. So what's Bhagavan? The first explanation of what Bhagavan is that it's the source, the beginning, the middle, the end of everything. It's the source, the substance, and the destination. It's the origin, the substance, and the destination of everything. Everything that you see right here and right now is actually a manifestation of Bhagavan. So that's an important thing to grasp, because we're all fascinated by something. Some of us are fascinated by a video game. Some of us are fascinated by a woman. Some of us are fascinated by a man. Some of us are fascinated by money. Whatever people are fascinated by, the origin, essence, and ultimate end of anything that you might be fascinated with is Bhagavan. So it's like saying, hey, you like pizza? You better go to the pizzeria, right? So it's like saying, hey, you like this exciting feeling? Well, you better go check out Bhagavan, because that feeling is a manifestation from Bhagavan. So if we're smart, then in our quest for excitement and happiness, we should look to Bhagavan. That's the opening statement. Since I have a low battery, we'll probably keep it at that. Let's see what Madhusha has. Brahma Sutra is Vedanta's text, and Bhagavad Purana explained by Vyasa is another text to explain Vedanta from the essence of the Upanishads. Yeah, just a very brief history of the Veda is that it was originally given to Brahma in his heart. That will be explained in this opening statement, by the way, by Vishnu. And then Brahma explained it to some sages who he created, and then they expressed it in mantras. Then it was passed on for many years, but over time became confusing. And then Vyasa, at a certain point in history, not too long ago, in terms of thousands of years, had to edit it. And as Vyasa was editing it, he realized he has to make it really brief, so that because people have short lifespans and short attention spans. So he created something new called Vedanta Sutra, which was him just showing you the essence of all of the Upanishads, because the Upanishads are already intended he edited Upanishads out to bring out the philosophical content of the Veda. And then he summarized the Upanishads in something called a sutra, the Brahma Sutra, the Vedanta Sutra. But then after writing that book, he didn't feel satisfied because it was too mystical or codified. So then he wrote this particular book that we're studying, Bhagavad Purana, to flesh it out more. Okay? Madhusha, that's my response to that. All right, so we'll end it here for today. Well, basically, we'll do this every day around this time. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully you come back tomorrow.